Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Shuffle Podcast. This is episode 81. We're the Cookie Shuffle guys. I'm Joe.
I'm Dave.
And this week we are joined by my friend Tori. Welcome, Tori. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Now, Tori, before we get started with the interview, tell us a little bit about yourself. What are like 2-3 things that people need to know about you before we ask you completely random questions about yourself?
Oh, totally. Hi, I'm Tori. Joe and I worked together when I just started my college program, so like a million eons ago.
Mm-hmm.
I stayed in Florida, even though ironically I'm not in Florida currently. So I've stayed in Florida. Best fun fact, Barack Obama follows me on Twitter. So I think those are like the need to know about me.
Oh shit.
Yeah, fun fact.
How did that come to be? Did you just kind of follow him and he followed you back?
I still don't have an answer. It's been 12 years. So I made my account right when Twitter started. No 11-year-old should be making a Twitter account. I actually lost my Twitter account for a second because I decided, this was back when they started it, they wouldn't let you put your full birthday in for whatever reason. Eventually required you had to be 13 to have a Twitter account. Well, at the time, I made my birth year like 95 or something, because I wasn't 13 when I made the account. Well, one day during my college program, I was like, had some glasses of wine and I was like, let me change my birth year to the actual one, and immediately got kicked out of my account because it said you weren't 13 when you made the account 11 years ago. I don't know how I got it back, but yeah, it was very bizarre. But somehow I kept getting emails like, you're not getting it back, but somehow swindled my way into keeping my account. But yeah, he followed me right when I started. And I think it was when he was campaigning, or it was like right after he got president, but he followed me and for whatever reason still follows me.
That is incredible.
Still no reason though. It just happened.
I want to be followed by someone
so
important.
I have a few very random celebrities follow me on Twitter. My Twitter's not all that exciting, but it's funny that I'm like, oh, these random people follow me for whatever reason.
Well, now, have you ever tweeted at him?
I don't think so. Someone asked me recently if I had ever DM'd him or anything. I was like, no, I don't think so. I feel like I'm scared to do that, and then him be like, let me unfollow now.
That's a good point. Yeah, like, you've got it, don't lose it.
Right, exactly. I'm like, I'm just not gonna rock the boat here and just
that's smart.
Say it happens and not say anything.
That's still pretty cool. Like, I wish somebody like that follow. I have had people that are like on TV follow me before on Twitter. I think they all now unfollowed me by this point. But if I could get like a president to follow me, or just somebody really famous, but like Obama would be cool.
I think it's funny because I'm like, oh, Obama follows me. But then, do you know who Abby Lee Miller is from Dance Moms? Like, she was the teacher from Dance Moms. She also follows me on Twitter for some reason. And I'm like, what is that economy of people? Like, you just look at their lives, just very, very different.
Drastically different lives.
I'm getting very nobody out here. I think the most important person that follows me is like Joe.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad.
Well, it's like, and it's not even like, I probably have like 400 followers on Twitter, and that's with like 12 years of having my account. And then there's my dad who has like 1,000 followers. So who knows? It's Twitter's weird. It's fun though. Very weird.
Yeah. Oh, extremely weird.
Anytime I go on Twitter, it's like, I'll just scroll to the top and then boom. Look, see what happens. Nothing really special. And then
nothing new. I'm out.
I'll go to like the trending. Like, if I know something has gone down, I'm like, oh, let me go to Twitter and just like see all the discourse about it.
I'll usually check.
Has happened.
Check trending and be like, what's new?
I have to do that more often.
Right. Or like when I was at Universal a couple weekends ago, and I was in line for Velocicoaster and they had a downtime. So I was like, let me check Twitter to see if anyone said anything about it, but they hadn't.
Yeah.
It's not as important. It's not Twitter worthy.
Not yet.
Right. Apparently not. So.
So you still work at Disney, of course.
I do.
And you've left Fantasyland behind.
I have.
Yes. So now you are a Jungle Cruise skipper,
Yes.
correct?
What is that?
I am. Yeah. It's I make dad jokes for a living. It's kind of the gist of it at this point.
Yeah, it's a
It's
fair
like,
description.
yeah, I'm like that's like it's kind of like safaris, but not legit by any means. It's like there's animals, but they're not real at all.
I wonder if I've ever been on
There's
that.
ducks. The ducks
I'm
are
sure
real, but
you have been
that,
on it. You get on a boat, you go through the water, and they tell bad jokes, and you see fake animals.
I definitely feel like I've been on that then.
It's incredible. It's in Magic Kingdom in Adventureland.
Okay.
It's a mess in the best way. Like, I love it.
Yeah.
That's literally like, now do you make up these dad jokes or do they like give you?
It's mostly theirs. It's kind of like you learn. They have pages upon pages of jokes to learn, and you kind of cater it to your personality.
Oh. And like, how bad are these jokes? Because I don't quite remember the ride if I was ever on.
I mean, it's about as bad jokes as you can get. Like, mine is full of puns. Like, I do a lot of puns on mine. Like, I make rock puns. I talk about taking things for granted instead of granted. Like, it's very along those lines. Is as dad jokes as you can like even imagine.
Yeah, like on a scale of 1 to the dad of all time, that it's up there.
Like safaris is like very informative. Like, it's educational. Jungle Cruise is just like we're just goofing off the whole time. It's a mess.
Yeah, it's drastically different rides, though the same base idea, which is driving around animals, is the only thing that has us in common.
Right. But it was really funny. I had these two girls who could not have had to been around my age. So I'm 23. They were like mid-20s maybe. So they come up to me while I'm loading them on and they go, "So we have a question." I was like, "Yeah, whatever, like ask me." And like, "So if we fall out around the crocodiles, like, do you have to leave us?" And I was like, "I mean, do you want me to run the magic here?" I was like, "They're not real." Also, I'm like, "Don't lean out of the boat, obviously." Like,
yeah,
just sitting there. But also I was like, that's not our ride.
Nope, that's my ride.
I was like, look to other places for that. That's not ours. Yeah, I was like,
yeah.
I was like, you're in your 20s, just so you know, like, we say they're real, but like they're not. Also, that's not going to be what we do.
Do these animals look sort of real at all in like the slightest?
Kind of, but you can tell they're animatronics. Well, I mean, we're an opening day attraction, so we've been up for forever.
Okay.
These kids think it's real though. It's really funny.
Kids are dumb.
Like, there's a huge. Well, I've had adults think it too. Like, there's a huge snake on it at one point. I've had adults like,
we're losing you a little bit here.
Y'all good.
It's interesting.
Did you hear that there's like a snake? Yeah. And they'll jump up as if it's real. And I'm like, all right, well.
People are so dumb.
You're in your 50s, but yeah.
And then you know what they come to Animal Kingdom the next day and they go, "Oh, these are fake animals on safaris." I go, "You idiot, those are real animals. How do you not know the difference?"
Right. But if anyone asks, they're real. That's something that I'm super adamant about. Like, if they straight up ask, I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'll push the buttons." I used to do that at Fantasyland too, like at Small World. Yeah. So at the end, all of their names come up and people get really pressed about it.
Oh,
and
yeah.
They'll be like, "How does this happen?" I'm like, "It's magic." And they'll be like, "No." I'm like, "Oh, it's magic." And I think there's been once that I said, once in the hundreds of times I was ever asked, that I was like, she seemed like she was really upset about it. I was like, "Okay, here's how this happened."
Yeah.
But I was like, no. If it's adults asking me, I think it's so funny to watch them because they're like, "That's not it." I'm like, "Yeah, it is. That's it."
I've had people come up, like when I worked at Small World, they were like, they're like, "No, that's some, like, I don't like that. Like, that's weird." I'm like, "No, we're not tracking. Like, yes, we are tracking you throughout the park, but we're not tracking you. Like, it's not the government. Right, this isn't going to the government. They don't know that you're on Small World right now."
Right. It's just for a fun, quick little, like, "Oh, this is cute. Like, we're paying attention to you." But also, I mean, it's just, I don't know. I think it's very entertaining to watch. Same with like pixie dusting. It was the same kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like seeing people like be super like shocked by it. I'm like, okay, well.
Like if you spend 1 second to think, you'd have the answer to all of your questions.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
But I love it. I like it's. I mean, like go they're on vacation. It's what happens in the best way.
Yeah, the brain turns off on vacation. We do have to remember that.
Yeah.
So why did you did the college program?
Mm-hmm.
So why did you want to do the college program for Disney?
I did. So I have grown up going to Disney. I was actually born in Orlando before my family moved away when I was young. My grandparents have lived in Lakeland my whole life. So I grew up on Disney and I always was like, it'd be fun to work there for a little bit. Not knowing how long I'd actually work there. But I waited till I graduated because I knew once I did it, I would at least stay a little bit. So I wanted to have my degree before I came down. Because at that point I was like, I might not go back. And I loved my college. So I wanted to like take advantage of the 4 years before. I didn't even do I went abroad in the summer. I didn't do a semester abroad because I wanted to be there for all 4 years. So I did after I graduated to say I worked for Disney at some point. Got to work in Fantasyland. Got to do like 2 of the most iconic attractions, in my opinion. Work the fireworks, which is my favorite thing in the world to work. Ooh. I would love for it to come back to work at some point in my life. But I just did it because I wanted to say I worked for Disney at some point, and I was a theater major, so I'd love to. I mean, Disney's kind of like the highest you can get in entertainment. Like they own so much.
They control everything. So.
Yeah.
Right. I'm like, have Disney on my resume. It's kind of like a big deal in the performing arts. So I'm like, oh, I love that.
So. Interesting. I don't think I honestly don't think I could ever work there.
No, Dave, you couldn't. It would be very bad for you. It would be very, very bad.
I don't even I occasionally like going there. I mean, I've been there 2 times and it was fun because but I don't think I could be like, come on, let's hop in the minivan and let's go, kids. No.
Right. I was gonna say it's for a very particular demographic, but even that's not super true. It's just like for a lot of perky people, like they love it. Families love it.
Yeah.
I definitely, I like Disney a lot, but now that I'm 21, now it's just, I just want to drink around the world. That's the only thing I want to try now.
It's fun.
That's the best part of Disney, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Do enjoy it. Supposed to be doing it in a couple weeks. Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Because my best friend and I, who live together, we've been best friends since high school, and we had always talked about doing that for our 21st birthday because we're 3 days apart. So we're like, we always wanted to go and do it together, and it didn't work out that year. It didn't work out the year after. Last year we were closed for COVID. So we're turning 24 this year, and we're saying we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it on one of the days in between.
Mm-hmm.
And it's gonna be 21st birthday themed for our 24th birthday. So like, do the whole thing.
It's only 3 years late.
Yeah,
no
3 years is nothing.
Right, exactly.
And you don't count 2020,
saying it's like the 3rd anniversary of our 21st
really
birthday or something.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, when I turn 22 this year, I'm just going to turn 21 again.
Mm-hmm.
And we're just going to have like another.
Right.
Where I really don't have to wear a mask or anything. July 17th.
Right. Oh, so yeah, you were in you're a Cancer too. Not if that. I'm that person. Okay, I want to put up a disclaimer.
Okay.
I know it because my friends know it, and so I listen to what they say, and I'm like, oh, cool. And it's funny to be like, oh, this person does it for that. I take it with a grain of salt, it's just funny to see.
My girlfriend Shannon is she knows all about that, and I can't fucking stand it.
Right.
And anytime she brings it up, she goes, oh well, this, or oh, it's because that, it's because this. I'm just like, like I don't
It's because
care.
Mercury's in retrograde right now.
Yeah, that's exactly. She gave that to me as a legitimate
very
reason for something happening at work the other day, and I go, get the fuck away. I'm like, shut the fuck up. I swear to God. Oh my
I find
Lord.
it very entertaining.
I just
Like,
heard
it's
somebody
just
say that Mercury in retrograde. What is that?
it is right now. That's the thing. So everyone's like, are these things happening to you? And they're like, it's because of this. And I'm like, okay, well,
I must have seen it on TikTok.
Dave,
yeah,
I
I'm
genuinely
sure
don't even
you
know.
saw it on TikTok.
I genuinely don't even know what Mercury being in retrograde even means.
I don't either.
But it happens all the fucking time, apparently.
I have absolutely said that phrase, and I'm like, I have genuinely. So
lost you a little bit there.
If I had customers and they asked me a question, I would just give them that response.
Yeah.
Like, they'd be like, well, why come you don't have this? Well, Mercury's in retrograde, so
yeah.
Can't help you out there.
Can't have everything you want, sorry. And they'd walk out, they'd be like, oh, it makes sense, I guess.
Yeah.
I had questions written down. Where's my phone? There it is. Stuff I wanted to ask you. I love that where this is going right now. None of them pertain to what we were just talking about. But I'm totally off track here. What is your biggest pet peeve? Like number one, what pisses you off the most about anything?
Oh, I used to have a really good answer for this. I'm also severely ADHD. So if you see me zoning out, that's what I'm trying to like access my thoughts at some point.
I honestly think I have a whole 9 yards: ADHD, ADD, dyslexia, probably have all of it.
It's so hard. Probably to go along those lines, I have a lot of pet peeves and they're so random, and I guarantee it will come what I actually wanted to say. But one of them, speaking of ADHD, I get super overstimulated, especially at work. Like, you're just interacting all day long, and so I need like an hour after work to sit. But if I'm overstimulated and someone has any kind of conversation with me, like on my way home, or like when I get home and my roommates are like talking a lot, can't do it. I'll be like, nope, can't do it today. That's a big pet peeve for me. I'll tell my roommates on the way home and be like, hey, I'm overstimulated. Don't talk to me for like 45 minutes. Can't do it today.
I need to tell people that all the time.
Yeah, it's just, hey, don't talk to me.
I'm like, it's just an easy out to be like, I will snap if you talk to me right now. Oh God. Now I'm like, wow, I have no pet peeves, which I know is not a thing by any means. I think along those lines, when people just talk to you, when we're in the break room and people just like, it's silent and then they just like start a conversation completely. I'm like, please no.
Yeah, I can't stand. It's like, if I wasn't talking to you, don't talk to me.
Right. And I love the people I work with. It's just, you're talking so much at work. Yeah. When I'm on my lunch, I'm like, I need to, for that same reason, like I need to zone out for like 30 on my lunch, got to zone out for 30 minutes. So when if it's silent in there and someone like starts to have a conversation, I'm like, oh, give me a moment. I'll talk to you in like 26 minutes.
Yeah.
I was like, when we're on the clock, when I'm back outside and I'm just like goofing off, yeah, let's talk then. But right now, I just need a minute.
Yeah.
That's what happens to me. I put my headphones in at work for like, I'm watching a video and when I'm on lunch, I don't feel like talking to anybody.
Yeah.
I just want, and then somebody like, I'll see like a shadow cast over me and then I'll like slightly hear what they're saying. And I'm like, I have headphones in.
Yeah, that drives me. If I have headphones in, leave me the fuck alone.
Right. Well, it's the same thing of my dad used to do this all the time. And so this was another one of when you're like reading something or you're watching something like this and someone comes over your shoulder and like starts to read what's on your page.
Oh, they're just
done. Hate that.
Get the fuck out of here.
Like, leave me
I can't
alone.
stand it. Or if it's like, if I'm on my phone, this happened to me at work. Not long ago. Somebody came up. I was like on my phone, and they come up and in front of me, and they like looked. I'm like, not even one of my friends. If it's one of my friends and they look over, I'm like, get the fuck out of here. But like, it was some random bitch that I don't fucking talk to at work, and she came over and looked from in front at my phone screen, and I go, "What the fuck are you doing? Like, what is wrong with you?"
Like privacy.
Yeah. Like, you don't know what I'm looking at on
same.
my phone screen at work. Come on.
Right.
Hopefully nothing too weird, but
Yeah.
If you like when you write birthday present, open your card and they start to read your card out loud. I'm like, no. It's just that same kind of energy.
Yeah,
Not
that's
here
good.
for it.
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh my God, that's a good answer. Who gave that answer? Was that you, Dave, or was why did I thought that was you?
No, that was her.
Okay, I was like, wait a second, who brought up this topic just now? Yeah, no, that's a good one. I like how specific the that you being like overstimulated and people trying to talk to you. Like, I don't think we've ever had an answer that specific to that question, because that's a question we ask almost everybody.
Right.
I don't think anybody's been that specific. It's usually like, fucking mine is people chewing with their mouth open, which I feel like is very common.
Ooh,
but
that's
like
that's a good one too.
That's what gets me the most. Dave has 1,000, so you can't ask him that question.
Right.
I just don't like
I
anybody.
also see, I love people, but there's just like random things that come up that I'm like, oh, please don't ever do that again.
Yeah.
It kind of just depends, honestly, for me, what kind of mood I'm in. Because like one thing could piss me off the day before, but like the next day, it's like I really don't. I don't know. Maybe I just don't have the energy to care the next day about what's going on. But like
Maybe, yeah.
I see it the one day and it just like makes me cringe.
I'm like I'm a fairly laid back person, I think, but and usually like things won't usually bother me, but again, if I'm overstimulated and like one thing goes wrong or someone does something that wouldn't normally bother me, but I'm overstimulated, I'm done. Like it just makes me mad.
Yeah.
But that's ADHD for you. It's very fun.
Dave, do you have another question, or if can I take it again here? If you've got one, please go ahead. But I've got a couple listed.
We'll go with the nice, easy question. What's your favorite fruit?
I love fruit, so I eat a lot of fruit. I'm on a big watermelon kick right now.
Yeah, that's Dave's favorite right there.
I love watermelon. I did this thing last summer and I want to do it this summer too, where I made my own watermelon juice. So I just like blended the watermelon and mixed it with like white wine and just brought it to the pool. Fantastic. Best thing I've ever done.
Oh my
Just like
God.
a nice little spritzer, like highly
Wow.
recommend it.
That sounds tasty.
It is. Watermelon. I've been eating a lot of strawberries recently too,
Oh,
but I
fuck
do
me up with some strawberries.
I love strawberries. I've been doing it. My friend got me on this kick of, have you ever had like brownie batter hummus? It's like chocolate hummus. It tastes like brownie batter, but it's hummus. So it's literally just like chickpeas.
Wow.
So I've been doing that for a snack at work. Like I just slice up some strawberries and I just dip it with the brownie batter hummus. Fantastic. Those are my two favorites.
What's
And
your
I love a good
near
blueberry.
hummus.
My least favorite. That's hard because I love all of them.
Have you ever tried a kumquat?
No, I've heard of
Yeah.
it, but I've never tried
Yeah,
it.
that'd probably be your least favorite, in my opinion.
What does it taste like?
To me, now I'm very biased. I don't like citrus. The only citrus I will eat is grapefruit.
Interesting.
So I tried a kumquat once, which is small citrus. And it tasted like I can't even describe it. It was so bad. It just tasted like death, and it didn't actually taste like death, but just like, to me personally, it tasted so bad. And it just, I don't know. I hate it. I hate it.
Right.
Hate it. It's awful.
Maybe. Because I'm like, I don't really think I have a least favorite. Like if I had to pick a least favorite, maybe blackberries, but I still love blackberries.
Yeah.
So, but I'm
How
gonna
do you
pick
feel
every
about
other fruit above
bananas?
blackberries.
Some potassium.
I like them. I love them as like a base for smoothies. That's usually
Okay.
how I'll eat them.
Yeah.
So
Bananas are strong in a smoothie. If you had a banana, that's the flavor of your smoothie.
Right, exactly. But I'll use them in it for sure.
Yeah. The reason I asked that question is because I do enjoy bananas. But I've come to realize recently that if I have any more than one banana in a day, the second banana and then from then on, taste like I want to kill myself. It's not good.
Right. I eat like if I eat bananas, it's like half a day, and
Yeah.
mostly it's within a smoothie.
Yeah, they're just
'cause
like
I don't
one
think I
is
could do
good,
more than
one
that.
is great, but like having more than one, I'm just like, oh, this is so
Right.
bad.
I
Definitely not. Like,
I was looking up this one fruit that I tried at work, which was like this shelled. You know, if you ate the skin off of a grape, what that picture, what the inside of the grape would look like,
Yeah.
but it's in a shell, right? It's in like a walnut shell. Okay, so this guy at work, like I don't know, a year and a half ago, whatever, gave it to me. He's from I don't know where. Like he's not from America. I mean, maybe he's, but he's like Bangladesh or something.
Yeah.
But either way, he had like a bag of these, and he was just like he gave it to somebody else, and he said, "You want one?" And I saw the look of them, and I was like, "No," but he gave it to me anyways. I go, "Okay,
Thanks."
So I saw the other person, or I saw him eat it, and he's like peeled it back, so it wasn't like a hard shell or anything. But the inside looked nasty. I go, there's no way I'm liking this. So I typed in what this thing, because I don't know what the name of it was, but it's called a lychee.
Oh, I've heard of lychee before.
I know what you're
This
talking
thing
about.
is so bad.
Yeah.
I go, I thought you liked me, bro. Like you gave me this. Oh my God. It tasted like, I don't know. It tasted worse than dirt. I feel like.
Yeah.
I've seen things that are like lychee flavored, but I've never actually seen one before.
I've never consumed one. I don't plan on it, but like I've seen videos of people eating lychee, and it's bad.
I never.
It's a soap berry family.
Now I'll have to go look this up. I'm intrigued.
Yeah, it tasted like soap.
Berry?
Yeah, it tasted like soap, I would say.
Oh,
It just nah.
Gross.
Makes sense then.
I
wonder if it's like a gene. You know, do you like cilantro?
Love cilantro.
Like, do you think cilantro tastes like soap?
I don't think I've ever had cilantro.
Supposedly
there's like cilantro. Have you ever had a taco, Dave, from any other place besides your house?
Have you been to Chipotle?
Yeah.
I've been to Chipotle once and I wasn't a big fan. So
yeah, I don't know.
I'm a huge Chipotle person.
I love Chipotle.
Like,
I had it once.
I do too. I go like every other week.
And I don't know. I had whatever you get, Joe, and I wasn't for it. I like Moe's better.
I'm pretty sure in Moe's, I don't know if they have.
You definitely have had cilantro at some point.
Moe's rice, I think, has cilantro.
I don't think it's in their rice.
Oh, maybe
does
not.
it? It's been so long since
I probably had
idea.
it. I just didn't notice what it was, but I don't know.
I only ask because there's a gene that some people, when they have cilantro, it tastes like soap to them.
Yeah, they're like allergic
I was like,
to it.
Oh, if cilantro tastes like soap,
they're allergic,
right?
Or I guess
so I
they
didn't
say
know if there's
they're
like
allergic.
a correlation between that.
Yeah.
How do you spell cilantro?
But speaking of bananas, sorry, I thought of this a second ago. My freshman, sophomore year roommate was vegetarian / vegan, depending on the time, mostly vegan. She referenced like some study at some point. Yeah, like I'm pretty sure she was vegan, but like sometimes vegetarian. I can't remember.
Yeah.
But sometimes there's some study or something that she had read at some point. I was like, you can live off of just 6 to 7 bananas a day. Like if you absolutely had to. Like it has all these nutrients that you need. And I was like, that sounds horrible. Not that she was doing that by any means.
Yeah.
But I just remember her talking about that at one point. I was like, oh, that's so weird. But yeah, like 6 to 7 bananas. Because just the way, like what it's made of is enough to sustain you for however long.
I couldn't even do like 6 to 7 in a month. Like that. I couldn't.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
I stopped buying bananas. And like, I don't really, like I use them sometimes in smoothies now, but I just like haven't recently because I'll get them and I'll forget about them. Like object permanence, not a thing for me. So I forget that they're there and so I don't use them. So I'm like, oh, it's such a food waste. So
yeah,
I just stopped getting them at that point.
Once they start getting a little brown for me too, I'm just like, it's
the second I see a brown spot on a banana, I'm done.
I'm just like,
Oh, but you can make banana bread or something with it then. So then
I don't like banana bread.
Oh, it's so good. Banana bread's so good with some chocolate
Ooh,
chips.
you
in there.
don't. It is good with some chocolate chips in it.
Oh yeah.
Oh, God, so good.
Oh
It's the best
yeah.
way to do it.
Okay. The delay is really making this making an interesting conversation for us.
Right.
But yeah, I'm banana bread. I'm not a fan of. I'll like if it's there, I'll probably have a slice. But like, I would never go out of my way to get banana bread or to have banana bread. It's just not. Yeah.
I didn't think I was
got-
until like beginning of this year, maybe,
Yeah.
where this guy brought in banana, like his wife made banana bread, and then he brought a thing in for me, and then like 2 days later, she made like a banana like pie, but like not banana cream pie, just like pretty much a banana cake in pie form with chocolate chips in it.
Mm.
And it was like a personal little thing, gave it to me. And I was like, this is the best thing I've ever had.
Sorry.
I got super into making banana bread in quarantine, as a lot of people did. I was bored, so made a lot of banana
That was a
bread.
very popular thing.
I just did a lot of baking and cooking during quarantine because I was out of the 6. I went back to North Carolina with my family during it. And out of the 6 of us, everyone was either in school or working, except for me. So I was like, well, I just ended up baking and cooking a lot.
I did a lot of sleeping. I spent a lot of time sleeping.
I did that too.
Yeah.
I wish.
Yeah, Dave was working during quarantine, all of it.
I don't want to. I wanted every day I walked in there. I said, can you shut down? Can you shut down? How about today? No. Okay, I'll just keep working then. Whatever.
No,
yeah, I
thank
went
you.
back to North Carolina thinking, oh, I'll get like a nice little 2 weeks because we were closed for 2 weeks, and then 4 months later, I was like, okay, it's time to go back to Florida.
God.
Crazy.
And so now, Joe, before you ask a question, this is like for both of you. I know like already Florida with their masks is like is already like, you know, yeah, what masks? But I like in New York, bars and restaurants now don't have to close at midnight. They don't have the curfew anymore or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
The other day was the first time I walked into like a public place without a mask on. Because you don't have to wear a mask. If I went to the movies, there were people were not wearing a mask or whatever. Somewhere. It was definitely a weird feeling because I was like, now I'm the one not wearing a mask and I see people wearing masks. And I'm like, this is weird. But is the Disney rule like is it just no masks as long as you're vaccinated?
So with Universal, they said if you're vaccinated, no masks, which everyone took as no more masks at Universal, because the non-vaxxers aren't gonna say they didn't get a vax.
Right.
And then for Disney, it's anywhere outside, you don't have to wear one unless your attraction is outdoors. So like Kilimanjaro Safaris and probably Jungle Cruise, they are outdoor attractions, but you still have to wear your mask on the ride. So like,
and in our queue for us in our queue too.
Yes, ours as well. So like, it's a lot more lenient than it was. But the rule is still very much there. It's just like, and most locations at Disney World are outdoors. So like, it's generally like if you're not doing shopping or if you're not on a ride, you can keep your mask off. So it's pretty good now. And people I think are a little bit better about following that part of it as opposed to masks on everywhere, because now it's like, hey, we'll level with you. Masks off outside, on inside. And they go, okay, fine.
Yeah.
But everywhere else in Florida, I'd say, although I don't know, I went to the grocery store the other day and almost everybody in the store was still wearing a mask. Though it's not technically, I think the stores still have their rules, but like, I think all of Florida, like the mandate's gone.
I don't know if we ever really had, I think during like the height of quarantine and stuff, they had a curfew, but since I got back here end of June last year, and there really has just been no curfew.
Yeah, I would say,
as far as I'm aware of.
I would say like at the very beginning, like what you said, like when everything first closed, there was a curfew. It wasn't strictly enforced by any means. But there was definitely a curfew.
Yeah, that question that thought popped in my head. So I was like, let me get this out before I fucking forget it.
Yeah.
It's definitely an interesting place, Florida, throughout all of COVID. I'm like,
yeah.
It's fascinating.
It was so nice though, not wearing a mask.
I bet.
Oh, I was just like, I feel free.
Mm-hmm.
I feel free.
It still feels super weird though. I'm like, I went into a store yesterday in North Carolina and no one had a mask on. And I was like, it was a small store too. And I was like, I feel like I should have one on. I'm fully vaccinated, like hit the 2 weeks forever ago. So like, yeah. I'm fine, but it's just like a weird culture shock to get over.
It is.
Start seeing people's face again. I'm like, oh, hello. I got to control my facial expressions.
Yeah, and people are like uglier than I remember.
Super weird.
That's what I got. That's what I enjoyed about the mask. I can make a face.
Yeah.
Nobody knew.
You can say stuff under your breath and no one knows.
Oh, like, the amount of shit that I say right under my breath at work.
Oh. Yeah, that was nice.
Boy. But anyway, so Dave, I'm gonna let you. I have the island question written down, but I'm gonna let you ask that. So I'm gonna skip over to a question we haven't asked in a while on the podcast. What is your biggest fear?
Oh yeah.
I have a few answers for it.
Okay.
Because I'm clearly very indecisive about everything.
The feeling.
Two biggest ones are probably the fear of not succeeding. Like I have goals that I want to achieve at some point in my life, and the thought of like not ever achieving those, that's really scary to me. Mm-hmm. But then the thought of being like totally and completely alone, I think.
Oh God.
Like not having any sort of
chills.
Terrifying. Like not having any kind of community. I'm like, oh no.
Yeah.
So just like completely losing everyone. That's probably it. Those are the two biggest ones.
I think I would agree.
Oh, those are some solid. Those are scary fears.
Except for the goals, because I don't have goals.
Honestly. Yeah.
Well, maybe it's more. I think it's more also like the fear of failure.
Yeah. It's
kind of like mostly like that's at the core of like I hate failing. It's like the fear of failure. So it encompasses the fact that like I fail if I don't achieve those goals.
Let me ask you this. Will you stop yourself from doing something if you're afraid that you're going to fail at it?
Sometimes.
Okay. So
like,
maybe
like to think like sometimes I think I'm fairly ambitious, but I do hold myself back sometimes because I'm like, I probably won't get it. So why go for it? You know?
That's maybe that's just like a very common thing with that fear of failure, because Shannon is the same way. She is a terrible fear of failure to the point where like she's like, no, I'm not gonna. Like when we were talking about like going for stuff at work, like trying to get promotions at work, she's like, oh, I'm not gonna do that because I don't want to fail at it.
Yeah.
I go, well, that's you're automatically failing if you don't go for it at least.
Yeah, but you don't gotta have the letdown, you know.
Yeah, well,
and that's what I tell myself.
Yeah, and I just like I can't even like wrap my head around it really of like because like I fail at a lot of things in my life,
right?
But I'm just like let's try again or let's keep going for it.
Right, exactly. Well, I think that's something that I've grown up a lot since high school, probably, that I've been like, oh, that exact mindset of one, I'm not going to get it if I don't try. So why not at least try?
Yeah.
And I mean, I was a theater major, and what I ultimately want to do is work in theater and film. And like that industry comes with a lot of
failure.
And so a lot of no's, a lot of failure. So like I had to get over that real quick. It's still there, but it's something that I definitely have worked on and know that I don't have as much because kind of can't have it.
Yeah, it's tough. I couldn't imagine having or dealing with something like that because again, Shannon does deal with it, and she's like, oh well, I don't want to do that because of that fear, and I'm just like, I can't even I can't fathom that.
Yeah, it's
Right. It's not fun.
Yeah,
it's not fun.
doesn't sound like it.
It's pretty much my whole life. I just say I don't feel
Mhm.
like trying it. It's whatever. I'll just
Yeah.
stick. I'll just stay in my little my little bubble of
Of what you're
hating
good
it.
at.
But see, that's where
No, not even what I
that's
just have
why-
to deal with it.
but I think that's where that layer of like the fear of not getting those goals, that's what it adds to, of like being like, okay, I have to be okay with the failure if I want to get to that point. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's
that's
a
a
weird
good point. Yeah.
dichotomy for sure.
Yeah. Wow,
Because
that's
I'd
weird.
rather fail than not get those goals, you know?
Yeah, I'd rather not fail. I'd rather not fail and just not try it and
Yeah.
then just be like, just keep like regretting and regretting and regretting and regretting.
Dave's gonna die with a lot of regret in his life.
Oh yes.
Really.
Oh yes. It's just,
Maybe that's
whatever.
another fear. Another fear of mine is regret.
Yeah. It's tough having a fear of failure and a fear of regret at the same time.
I mean, I'm 22,
Right.
like almost 22, and I probably have
Got
like 21 years worth of regret, somehow when I was
God.
born, somehow when I was born with like the first
Number one
3
regret,
years,
being born.
there you go. That's what it is.
Oh my lord.
But whatever.
Yeah.
I'll go with the island question then, which is if you were stranded on an island, but you,
Mhm.
what was it? You're only there for like 2 weeks, Joe, or like
No, it was like a year or something like that.
Oh, a year. But so you're there for a year, but you're going to be getting like rescued. You have like food and water and all that jazz.
Okay.
So what 3 things are you going to bring if you know you're getting rescued and you have food and water?
I'm like going through my room right now. Like, what do I need in there? My weighted blanket is one. It's fantastic. I have a hard time sleeping. It's a big part of ADHD. It's like insomnia. But it's just like the weighted blanket, fantastic. I love reading, but like if I had to pick between reading and TV, like I'm gonna pick Netflix. Like that, like I love that is just like infinite.
Yeah.
Like there's so much. And part of it too, like in my mind, I would be like, I'm going to be away for a year. I got to keep up on the industry that I'm still wanting to work in. Let me see what's going on. So probably TV, just for that reason.
Mm-hmm.
That's 2, I guess. I guess TV, I feel like is a cop out, but
No, I think that's good.
Yeah,
I think that's good.
and I already have food and water. We said, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I feel like if you have a TV, you can also play music on the TV. So it's not like I need my phone for that reason. It'd be kind of nice to not do social media for a year.
Yeah, TV is definitely is a wide.
Geez.
Yeah, it covers a wide range of things.
Which is good though, because it's got like
right. I'm like all encompassing here. Right. When we're talking about this food though, like do I have things to prepare the food? Like
you are able to,
or should I bring an air fryer? Like that should that be my
thing? I would say
I don't even own an air
But you would get one for the island.
You would get one for the island. I mean, like you could like you'd
well,
learn how to make a
you can
fire.
Cook so much with it.
Yeah.
But it's not an air fryer.
No, it's not.
I guess
I would say that like if you have
I feel like I live so simply.
You have what you need to survive with the food and water.
Right.
So obviously you'll be good. So if you want to bring something extra to spice up that food, I guess
An air fryer.
Maybe some spices.
An air fryer.
Maybe an air fryer.
Air fryer or a journal, I guess, like to write.
Those are
That would
two
probably be my other
drastically
thing.
different things.
I know. I don't know. Those are the only two things I can think of. One of those two.
That's
I like the journal.
Yeah,
then-
it'd probably
'cause-
be that.
Because then you can easily like look back and be like, show everybody, yeah.
be
This
like
is what
today. I wish I had an air fryer.
I know, right?
Well, especially if I'm by myself too. Like I have too many thoughts for that, so I gotta
You got to put them
have
down.
somewhere to put it.
Yeah.
Probably a journal then.
Oh, that's good.
Joe, what were do you know what yours were?
Mine was. Oh, no, I don't remember anymore. Mine are long gone. I think I said a boat originally, and then we said, "Oh, we're going to get
Ooh.
rescued." I go, "Oh, well, the boat's not necessary anymore."
Right.
But also,
for
like, I
fun.
might still bring the boat for fun. Yeah.
Right. I do it for fun. I guess if I knew how to surf, I'd bring a surfboard.
Yeah.
Maybe that'd be my third one. That'd be fun. My brother surfs.
But then
so.
you got to hope that there's waves the entire year that you're there, which there's no guarantee of.
Yeah, but we're
Right,
assuming,
but
you know.
if anything, you can just sit on it
That's
in the
true.
water. It's fun.
I would bring. I don't know. I thought I had good answers, but now I'm not so confident anymore.
While I was like thinking a little bit of what mine were, and I couldn't really think, and then I saw Newton. I was like, I would definitely bring a dog
Yeah,
because I would need a
Oh
pal.
yeah.
I would need a pal.
that's good.
You know. And then
I
when
want a
she
dog
said
so
when
bad.
you said TV, dog, TV, and probably like my dirt bike.
Yeah, that would be cool. That would be fun.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, I definitely like. I'm all for the boat, whether it be for fun or just for like when they come to rescue me, I'd be like, I'm good. Like, give me some gas, but I'm good. Like, keep me. I'll stay here.
Right.
I feel like a lot of the answers we've gotten over the course of this podcast has always been like, or lately, a lot of people have said some sort of blanket or some sort of comfort item to like be able to sleep comfortably.
Right.
Whereas
Somebody said
my
pillow,
answer,
right?
Somebody said pillow. My answer never included that stuff. I just assumed like I'd make that shit there on the like. I know I can't make a pillow on the island, but like I can make a bed
blanket
out of bamboo and leaves and shit.
Right.
Can't make a weighted blanket. That's true.
Right.
I could like add logs to a blanket and make it weighted.
Yeah, you'd be
Just
uncomfortable.
a lot of bamboo leaves.
Just all of the leaves on me.
I figured I'd make a hammock.
Right.
So that's probably my sleeping area. So that's why I wasn't thinking like pillow. Or
I'd want to bring
that,
something to like something that I'm not good at to get good at it over the course of my year there.
Right, because being there for a year, you have to get good at it.
Yeah.
You don't agree?
Ooh, yeah. No, I totally agree.
Oh,
Along those
I
lines,
see.
I'd be like, oh, my guitar. Then I'm like, should I bring that instead?
I could
like,
bring the saxophone.
Questioning my answers now.
There you go, Dave.
Imagine the saxophone, just hearing the saxophone on an island out in the distance.
Who's going to hear it? You're alone.
Well, hey, there's
the people rescuing you.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're like, do you guys hear that saxophone in the distance?
Yeah. It take them a year to like get to me.
Yeah.
They'd hear it for that long.
Yeah. Oh my Lord.
I mean, who knows? The surrounding lands,
Incredible.
but people just can't get to me.
Yeah, it's a good
So
point.
I'm just gonna say that there's people there, they just can't get to me, so I can't get rescued for a year. But they can hear my music.
They can hear your music.
Yeah.
It's also too far to swim somehow either, I guess, because I could just swim to their island if I wanted to.
I might bring a change of clothes.
No, I'm going straight Tarzan.
Oh, I didn't even think about
Straight
that. But I also kind
Tarzan.
of just thought I'm by myself. So like, right. Like, why am I going to wear anything?
I don't know.
That was
I don't enjoy
Like, if you're by yourself.
on a beach though, just no clothes in it. Like, ugh.
Yeah, I definitely would want. I mean, I don't care. I definitely
But
want
on
like
the beach,
shorts
having
on or
sand
something.
in your clothes, like,
I'd
I feel like
rather
it's the same thing.
Yeah, no, you could because no, the sand doesn't get in the clothes as much
I
as
feel
it,
like sand.
I don't know.
I think it does. Have you ever swam like your swimsuits when a wave hits you? That sand is like built into your swimsuit. So if you don't have that on, like, yeah, you're gonna get sand on you, but you're not gonna get sand in your clothes. So, like,
Yeah, but I'm just like imagining like sitting on the
I don't know.
beach.
That was my thought process.
Imagining sitting on the beach and like
Let me lay down that weighted blanket.
Ah, there you go. I'm screwed. I didn't bring a blanket with
So.
me.
Bingo.
That's a start. That's a smart thing. Would you bring sunscreen?
Ooh.
Because in a year you're gonna leave that island with some skin cancer, most likely.
Yeah. I'm someone who's like SPF every day, so maybe I should. I don't know.
Although,
these are all great.
You could build an
points.
umbrella.
I probably would end up doing that because that's a little more not efficient, but how much I'm like talking about bringing piles upon piles of sunscreen.
Yeah.
Last for a year.
You know, no bottle of sunscreen's big enough.
Just a bucket of sunscreen.
I would definitely just build a shelter to where I could easily
just like slash it out every day.
Yeah, just dunk your hand in your arm.
Yeah.
There we go.
Right, and I'm sure there's like some sort of natural sunscreen that you could create with the stuff in the woods. So, dirt, I don't know.
Rub some dirt on it. You're
sticking through the Hunger Games. What did they do?
Yeah.
There might be good.
I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, I guess if I'm on an island, I would
just sit in the shade during the hottest part of the day.
Right.
Yeah. That's what
is that the best time to fish? I don't know. Should you bring a fishing pole? Oh, we said that we had food and water. Don't listen to that part of it.
Well,
I was thinking to survive.
The fish is maybe the food that you do have to survive with. Like, yes, there's fruit on the trees, and yes, but like there's not a buffet that's gonna last you a year long. So like the island does provide for you, but you do have to get that stuff yourself.
Right. So make your own fishing pole, but like, is that the best time of day to fish? So should you have sunscreen? But maybe you just, where you fish, that's where your little shelter goes. Maybe. So you can fish while you're sheltered. I don't know.
I'm not bringing a fishing pole though. I'm learning how to spearfish.
Absolutely not. That's fun. Yeah. I don't know if I'm like agile enough for it.
Oh, definitely not. But you'd learn in a year.
You got to. I mean, like, you want to eat?
You got to have a lot of patience too. I mean,
which you would also learn patience.
I guess if you have the time.
Yeah.
It's like, I got nothing else to do today, so I'll just stand here.
Maybe that is the time I finally learned patience.
Yeah.
Stick me on an island for a year.
I have to spear my own food.
Yeah. Ooh. And then one final question that I have written down here.
Yeah.
A very divided topic on this podcast. Let's imagine for a second, if you will, that you are walking down a path and you come across on one side of the path a goose who wants to fight you and a deer who wants to fight you. Which would you rather fight?
I have a story after this, by the way.
Okay.
This is a fantastic question. Probably the goose, I think, is my first instinct. I know they bite, but I see deer as so delicate that I feel bad about fighting it. But the geese are so aggressive that I feel like I can be aggressive back. Like, if I've learned anything about my experience at work, seeing the ducks, like the way that these ducks interact with people, I feel so prepared to take on a goose. I don't know. I feel like you can scare them enough.
I like that.
The deer, I just feel bad about it.
That's a good interpretation of the answer. And I support that answer because I also chose goose, not for the same reason at all, but I like that you picked goose.
Yeah. I feel more like freedom to be hands-on with the goose, whereas the deer, I'm like, oh no.
My thought process was the deer will fucking kill me if I try and fight it. So I'll fight the goose.
Also that.
Yeah. My thought process.
I feel like there's more to grab onto with a goose.
That's what I said.
Like, you can grab the neck.
That's what I said.
Okay, well, let me tell you this story on the golf course last week. So me, Tyler, Ben, and Will.
Mm-hmm.
We go golfing, whatever. My ball is sitting in the middle of a herd. What is it?
Flock
what are they
of
called?
geese?
A flock. Thank you. A flock of geese, right? And now Will, he's just driving the golf cart like towards them. So they're kind of going towards my ball even more. But there's a path for me to walk through. And there's this one goose that is just standing up tall and just keeps eyeballing me. And I'm like, this guy, this one is going to be the problem. I know it. All the other ones are just kind of like, yeah, whatever. We'll move. This guy, he's standing up tall. In his head, he's like 7 feet tall. He's thinking, he's like towering over everything. And I'm looking at him. I'm like, okay, I have to get my ball, sir. So I start walking. He's going, he's walking this way. And as soon as I get past him, he starts fucking flying at me so quickly, dude. It was just like, I literally was like, I screamed for a split second and ran the other way. I'm like, it was the worst feeling in the world. And a deer, which is what I picked, is I will like see that thing at all times because it's big. Okay. A goose is doing flying circles around me and getting me at every angle. I know way I'm grabbing this thing. So that's why I chose a deer. Yeah. And I completely still stand by my goose because that goose last week scared the shit out of me. So deer 100% still.
Like I will give you, if the geese have anything, it's just the audacity. Like they really, they think they're high up there. It's so funny to watch them. So which is fair. I'm still sticking with the goose. Like, I don't know. I feel like I could do it.
Yeah, I'm taking the goose 100%. I'm gonna murder that goose.
I mean, I 100% think that a goose is the majority answer to when you ask, like, if you ask 100 people, I'm sure 80% say goose.
Yeah,
because it is the clear choice because it's a smaller animal, and yes, right away I could think, yeah, you just grab a snack, but
after careful consideration, you're going with deer.
I'm still just going with deer for some reason because in my head,
well,
I guess
you can't even. I mean, we've asked several people now, and the answers are still fairly divided on who's fighting what.
Right.
I think the past couple answers have been goose, but before that, it was a lot of deer.
Yeah. For some reason, I guess in my head, you know, I'm just this yoked dude that can just
take on like a deer,
headlock a deer, and
yeah,
and beat it, ride it off into the sunset, as I said before.
Sweet Jesus.
Hopefully that day never comes, though.
Hopefully, yeah.
For the goose, but the geese are definitely more likely to attack quicker than.
Yeah, in a realistic scenario, the goose will always attack, whereas the deer will almost always run away.
Yeah, that's what I think. Because the goose, they're always somehow protecting something. It's like, what do you got over there?
What are you hiding?
Right. If you had just talked about like, if you had just been like, one of these animals you have to fight, but it was like the fact that you set it up that the deer is ready to fight you. Yeah. Then I was like, okay, not if it had just been like a deer, I'd been like, I would pick the deer because they're just going to run away for the most part. But yeah, with the intention that they're going to fight you.
Yeah, that's why we had to change the question originally because we came to that conclusion too, that the deer would run away, and I go, no, the deer wants to fight you.
Right. Right. The deer is ready to go.
Yeah. Because like if the deer was going to run away, I'd pick the deer, but the deer's not running away. It's running at me. And I go, I don't want to die. So I'm fighting the goose.
Yeah.
Because a goose has never killed a person, to my knowledge.
To my knowledge either. Yes. I don't know.
I feel like I got to look it up. Fact check that.
God.
I got it.
Oh, thanks, Dave.
As a goose ever killed somebody? Look at that.
Gotta fact check it.
In fact, the only 2 instances of human fatalities attributed to waterfowl in the United States were caused by mute swans.
See, swans. You can't fight a swan, but you can fight a goose.
Not surprised.
In other words, geese won't kill you.
Swans are fucking devil animals.
Yeah, swans are massive.
Mm-hmm. Like there's like, here's my like order of the 3. So it's like of aggressiveness, least to most. I think ducks are like here. If you keep feeding them, they're here. Then it's geese. Then swan is just like even past that top point. The swan is like out the door. Those things, I see when I'm like, I'm walking the other way.
Yeah. They just have a weird look on their face. They're like, you look at me funny and I'll murder your kids.
It's like, you've already wronged me.
Yeah.
I'm like, I was just walking.
It says, make sure you maintain direct eye contact while facing your body directly towards the attacking goose.
No, thank you.
Never turn your back or shoulders away from the hostile.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the swan, a goose. Yeah. Oh, I'm maintaining eye contact with that goose.
Yeah, that's what I didn't
Goose,
do that. I turned
absolutely.
around and then it was like, I'm coming to get you.
I'm not. Yeah. If you get that goose, if that goose is behind
the
you, it's going to be
moment.
tough.
Look at that. Yeah, these are tips to
fight a goose.
Was it like a Canadian goose?
Yeah.
If a goose flies up towards your face, then duck or move away at a 90-degree angle to the direction of flight, still facing the attacking goose.
Wow.
Interesting.
Somebody's tested this theory.
Yeah.
Right.
They're like
it's like the same thing where people are like with gators or Crocs or whatever that you're supposed to go zigzag.
Yeah.
No, just go straight. Apparently the zigzag is not a thing.
Just run.
But it became a thought.
Yeah, I'm
for
definitely
people.
getting away
Just
quicker.
go.
just in a straight line. I'm taking more time zigzagging it.
Yeah.
Did you see this video that went? This video went viral on TikTok. This is probably like a month and a half ago. Of this lady was sitting in a golf cart and her husband's like fishing. He's on a business call while he's fishing, and this gator hops out of the water, walks over, takes the fish from the literal. He's holding the fishing pole, takes the fish and goes back in the water. And she just happens to record the whole thing. It's a massive gator, and the guy on the phone just continues his business call, like not even fazed by it. And she's like, "Holy shit! Like, what is going on?" It's very funny. If you can find it.
Did he have the fish like?
It was
on like in his hand or something?
I think it was, if I can remember, it was hard to see because it happened so quick. Like the gator like came out and immediately walks over. I think he had it on the line, but the fish was still on the ground next to him. I don't think he was actually holding it, but the gator goes right next to the man, takes the fish and goes back in the water. And he's just continuing on his business call. Like he's not fazed by it at all.
Hey,
I was like, that's the most Florida thing I've ever seen in my life.
Oh yeah.
This man just did not care. Business. I was like, oh my God. Literally.
Really
I was like, okay.
Business call.
Absolutely.
Dave, do you have any more questions?
No.
No. Okay.
No.
Well then, Tori, I mean, but start over here.
Every time we record, by the way.
I do the same thing.
I'm going to open it up to you. Do you have any questions for us? 2, do you have any, what we like to call weird weekly stories? Anything funny, crazy, weird, or stupid that's happened to you in the past X amount of time that you would like to share?
I don't have any fun questions for y'all as far as I know. I'll see if I can think of one. I think my favorite story, and you were there for it. It was the day, it was like extra magic hours while we were working once. And this guy walks up while I was working at Peter Pan. And this guy walks up and he's wearing a Smash Mouth shirt. And I was like, oh, I knew Smash Mouth had played at the Food and Wine Festival the last couple of days. So naturally my thought is, oh, this man's wearing a Smash Mouth shirt. He went and watched their concert. So I start talking to the man before I load them. I'm like, oh, did you go to the Smash Mouth concert? And he kind of like laughed at me. And the lady with him goes like, oh, he's the guitarist for Smash Mouth. And I was so flabbergasted because I was like so caught off guard by it. I was like, one, who wears their own merch? Like who's obviously I was like, oh, this man's just a Smash Mouth like a fan. But who wears their merch? And it's extra magic hours. So he's like not with a tour guide or anything. So I was so caught off guard. I was like, ah, and he was so kind about it too. He was like, oh, did you come to the concert? And I was like, no, like I had to work, so I couldn't come. But then I had to like put them on the ride. And I'm like peeing myself at this point. This is like 2 weeks after I'd started working in Fantasyland because you were still there.
Yeah.
Joe, but you were like at wheelchair. You were right over there. And I was like, this guy's the guitarist for Smash Mouth. And I was like, I feel like I got to say something to him when he walks back around. Because around the comes back, and I thought he was gonna like hand me trash or something. He was like holding something, and you know, people hand you trash at Load One all the time.
Yeah.
So I like just expected to be handed trash. He like handed me a guitar pick with his signature on it. So I still have it in my backpack.
Nice.
That's my.
I do remember that very well.
That was probably my funniest work story.
I
it's just entertaining to be like, I asked the guy from Smash
Yeah.
Mouth if he went to the Smash Mouth concert.
And he goes,
I was like, oh, sorry.
I fucking played the Smash Mouth concert.
He was just like, he was so kind too. And it was the lady being like, oh, he's the guitarist. And I was like,
Yeah.
okay, just trying to do my job.
Like, I'm sorry.
Just trying to
Right.
get conversation.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
I think, I was working once, I was doing fireworks. So I was at West Ropes. So the one place that you can get in for Royal Table. And this guest is just talking to me and whoever was with me at the time, just talking. And this lady comes up, she's like, oh, I left my wallet at Royal Table. Can I go get it? And I was like, oh yeah, of course, let her in. And the guy who's standing there talking, he's like, oh, what's Royal Table? And before like I or whoever was standing me could say anything, the guest looks at him and goes, it's a scam is what it is, and walks away to go get her wallet. And we were like, oh my God.
Damn. I mean,
like,
not
okay.
wrong, but Jesus.
She knew it was up.
Yeah.
What it is, what she is.
She was itching to say that.
I was like, oh,
the whole time.
She was so ready. I was like, okay.
That's hilarious.
She did the thing. What's it called?
So
the Royal what?
Royal Table.
Royal Table. She did
Royal
it.
Table.
And,
it's like the.
She's sitting in there, and then she's thinking the whole time, man, this is a fucking scam. This is just dumb.
I've never done it.
Neither have I.
I know.
I know it's stupid expensive though.
It's so expensive. So it's the. I don't know if you know this, Dave, but it's like the dinner in the castle, and it's all the princesses come and do a whole meet and greet. But it's expensive. It's like the most expensive, one of the most expensive on property, if not the most expensive.
Yep.
Yeah, but never will I ever pay for that.
Like if someone wants to take me, fantastic. But like,
but I'm not forking over the money.
No, and the amount of effort it goes to get that reservation, I'm like, I don't have the patience. Absolutely not.
What kind of food they got there?
I don't even know. I've heard some people be like, it's fantastic. And then other people are like, no, they don't like it. So I have no concept of what it is.
I wonder if it's like they give you a menu, or if they just have like a one-time, like when you go here, you're going to be eating this.
I think my understanding of it, so you pay before you even get there. So usually you pay at the restaurant. You like pay go, because I was like jokingly trying to make, when we reopened last summer, there were a bunch of reservations. So I was like, haha, let me just make a reservation for a late birthday thing. And it was like, you have to pay $100 per person before. And I was like, absolutely not.
Yeah, fuck that.
But then it's like, I think it's like 3 courses, and each course has a different thing that you can pick from. I think.
I have no idea how any of it works.
I didn't really look at it. It was just mostly a joke. Right.
I
know those people pay a lot of money and they get really stressed about it. So I'm like, fair, but they get real stressed.
Yeah.
Do they mostly bring like their kids? Because this is like, if the princesses are coming, right? It's a kid thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's kids, but then there are some people too. It's like such a thing for them. Like I've had like people go on dates up there, or seen people go on like, especially like around marathon weekends.
Oh yeah, it's very popular.
Well, this place looks fancy as fuck.
Yeah, it is. It's very fancy.
I'm gonna check out their menu really quick so we can see what kind of.
But these parents like go all out. If they're doing Royal Table, they're also doing boutique that day. You know, the kids are getting the full royal makeover of like looking like these princesses. It's incredible.
Yeah. Because it's like, once you're dropping $10,000, what's another $1,000?
Right.
They got duck 2 ways, tenderloin of beef, roasted all natural chicken breast, chickpea.
You know, it's fancy when it's not beef tenderloin, but tenderloin of beef.
Yeah.
It's
specifically.
Like, okay, cool. Why do you have to just say what? Why do you have stars next to it? Champagne and sparkling wine. You can get a $79 bottle of champagne. $350 bottle.
Yeah, that sounds more accurate.
Who's getting a $350 bottle?
Somebody.
What are the odds that it's a $79 bottle and they just roll out with some Andre? Like that's the bottle for you.
Yeah, allergy friendly. I mean, they got quite a few options here. They got stuff for kids, obviously. Gluten free. Way to
That
go.
is the thing is I will say Disney is great for allergies. As someone
Yeah,
who's
they're very
gluten
accommodating.
intolerant. Like
Yeah.
just the allergy, it's incredible.
Well, I mean, they don't want
That's a big
some
thing for my
Karen
family, like why we love it so much.
to like snap at them, and
Nope.
if they don't have it for their kids. They're like, well, you don't have a special
Right.
like whatchamacallit table, or because I know like the lunch tables in like not high school. Well, yeah, they had one in high school, but like elementary school, they had like the separate table
For the allergy kids.
for the allergy kids. Yeah. But
God, I
like
forgot about that.
they'd be like the parents would be
That's
like,
just
you have to make sure that my son sits here. I'm like, okay. I'm not telling me. I'm not saying okay. I'm like, hey, Timmy, you gotta go sit over there, by the way. I got peanut
just
butter
like-
today.
Say, hey, sorry your kid's fucking gonna die of peanut butter.
Right.
Dumbass.
That just brought back such a repressed memory. Just lunch in elementary school.
Yeah.
Completely forgot about all of that. Wow.
I hate
Feels so far ago.
to rush the ending of this, but Shannon is waiting for me at Coronado Springs, which I'm supposed to be at right now. So we're gonna wrap this up pretty quickly now here. I've got my free resort stay tonight. Well, it's her free resort stay, and I was gonna do the podcast there, but I had to rush home because my laptop wasn't working. So now I'm doing the podcast here, and I have to go back.
Love that.
Yeah. So
There's
Dave,
always
bring
That's
us
where
the
mine
trivia.
is, but end of August. So
Oh, nice.
So what? Everybody got like a free.
Yeah, they gave us a free night at the at a hotel. We didn't get to choose the hotel though; they did.
oh my goodness. Okay. No.
Tori, go ahead and pick a number 1 through like 15.
9.
3, 6, 9. Okay. I'm not gonna know this, by the way. What mountain range stretches from the town of Seesen in northwest Germany to?
Oh god.
I don't even fucking know. Eisleben in the east. Yeah, it's German.
Eisleben, probably.
Eisleben.
Oh, I absolutely do not know. I could say the Alps, but I absolutely know it's not that either because that's the Swiss. So that's the one mountain range in the Europe that I know.
Well, we're
Seesen in northwest Germany to Eisleben.
okay. I'm gonna write something completely random down and hope I got this. Germany.
Dude, I don't even know what is going on over there.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know what's going on in the United States. I don't know what's going on over there. Okay? I don't know geography.
My brother's going to Germany for a year, so he would know. But I'm like, I absolutely do not.
Mountain
like-
ranges.
I don't even know. Like, what are famous mountains?
I have nothing. Should we pick a new number?
I think we should, but I'm gonna see what this
Yeah.
answer
What's the
is.
answer?
The
Harz. What?
Never heard of it.
Never.
Absolutely not.
All right,
All
let's try this again. We'll go with 9
I'm
still.
just reading all of these.
All right. What duo starred in the 1969 movie Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid?
Stop.
I know this movie,
So
and I
what?
don't know this answer.
I need to.
Butch Cassidy.
Oh, it's been 2 years since I watched it. I don't know.
Okay, I'm gonna write down.
This is
I'm
so
just gonna-
annoying.
I'm just gonna write down 2 random.
I'm writing down 2 random names. I don't even have 2 random
I've
names.
literally seen it, but
I'm
It's
gonna be so off. You know, I literally just wrote down 2 people that I like. Honestly, that's what I did.
I can't even think of names of actors anymore.
Right? I'm like, I know no one. As if I haven't taken multiple classes on film, including this one. Cannot figure it out for the life of me.
I'm writing down a funny answer in hopes that I can at least get a point out of it.
Yeah, also, Tori, you can pick if somebody has a funny answer, you can pick their answer, and they'll get a point.
Bet.
Okay, I'm locked
nobody
in.
Gets it right.
Dave, if you've got, or Tori, do you have a guess for this? Or
I have
an
nothing.
Answer? Okay.
Nothing.
Dave, what did you write down?
I just wrote down Robin Williams and Tom Hanks. Just honestly, just 2 actors that I just like.
I put down that cowboy actor dude and a young Vin Diesel.
Young Vin Diesel.
Both are so unrealistic too.
I know.
The greatest part
Paul
about
Newman and Robert
Redford. Dude, I
don't even know their names. I don't know their names at all. I gotta look.
I've never even seen the movie. I've just seen the cover.
Yes, that's probably. I don't think I've seen the movie.
I've never seen the movie. I've only ever seen the cover, so I couldn't even.
Paul Newman.
I took my senior year. I was a sociology major as well, and I took sociology of film, and it was all about cop movies, and so we watched that one. Cop and crime.
Oh fuck! I know Robert Redford. He was in Dave. He's in Captain America: Civil War.
I don't know.
Or not Civil War.
Is he really?
Was it Civil War? Which is the one where Nick Fury
Let me IMDb this.
pretends to die.
That's Winter Soldier.
See it, Dave?
Oh, that guy.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
Paul
He's
Newman.
in The Ordinary.
Yeah, I know Robert Redford.
He was in Endgame.
He is?
The only Avengers movie he was in was Endgame, according to IMDb.
Well, that's incorrect.
Yeah, it's definitely incorrect. Well,
Avengers Endgame.
We'll go with.
Oh, I lied. I just didn't go back far enough. Don't listen to me. He's also Winter Soldier.
Out of mine
incompetent.
and Joe's answers, I guess what would you say is the most outlandish answer? Because that's just like what we're gonna go with to get maybe 1 point.
We're gonna go with the most outlandish. I think yours is the most outlandish because of the time. Like, think about the time period. I'm like, Robin. But who'd you say? Robin Williams and
Tom Hanks. I literally.
Yeah, no. I mean, like, this is 1969. Absolutely not. Those are like modern day actors. That's what.
I would say
years ago.
I would say Dave's definitely got the most outlandish here.
I would say mine would be the funniest because it's the most out of nowhere.
Out of pocket.
Yeah, I couldn't even name another actor. I just said that cowboy actor dude and a young Vin Diesel.
Who were you thinking of with the cowboy actor?
I don't know, Dave. I don't know who that cowboy actor dude I'm thinking of is.
I would go like, no, I couldn't even Clint Eastwood, but you know that guy's 90 and he's still doing movies.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I didn't realize he was 90.
Anyway, so Dave, we're giving you the point for this.
Yeah. Woohoo! We'd have the worst answer out there.
So I think that with that being said, this is week 6. So I've got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You have 2, 3, 4. So I win for the 6 weeks, which means I get food.
Yeah. I buy Joe food if he wins, or Joe would buy me food if I won. So
I think that's a fair trade.
Although, wait, didn't we say? Oh, I guess you didn't get 2 points this week. We did say last week that if you win, we tie it. We tie and go to a tiebreaker.
Yeah, whatever. I'll just buy you food.
We'll okay, that works for me.
It'll make it easier. I just don't have to fucking.
All right. Anyway, so Tori, where can the people find you?
Yeah. So my aforementioned Twitter is just Tori Spong. So TORISPONG. And then Instagram is tspong675.
You don't have a TikTok?
I do have a TikTok. If people
Or
would
is it
like
too
to
embarrassing?
join my very, very random, I don't even know what's on there, but it should be Spong 675 as well. Let's see. My TikTok is very rarely used for actual TikToks.
Yeah.
Spong 675. I'm
beautiful.
just addicted to the For You page.
What's
So.
out the window, Joe?
Newton, there's some birds in the yard, so
Okay.
Newton's ready to go murder something.
Gotcha. I was like, he's looking at something.
Yeah, there's a couple of birds. And by a couple, I mean there's like a whole fucking flock of birds in the yard right now. And Tori, what is your eat of the week? What is the best thing you had to eat this week or in the past several weeks?
I'll probably go past several weeks because my oldest brother graduated from Clemson a few weeks ago. And we ate at this restaurant, and now it's gonna completely leave my mind the name of it. But it was like Belgian food, and it was the best meal that I have had ever. And so I got, what did I have? I had like their pork, which I'm usually pescatarian, but I was like, we're going to this Belgian restaurant. I'm gonna get meat. So I got this pork, and it was just absolutely incredible. And everyone's food was so good. Like my mom got steak frites, so good, and they make all their own sauces. For you, and you get like a choice of 3 like dips for your fries if you get that. They also like brew their own ginger beer, so their Moscow mules were like with their own ginger beer.
Wow,
fantastic, best meal I've had.
Sounds pretty good.
It was great.
My mouth is watering.
Mine too. I'm hungry.
Dave, what about you? Where can people find you?
You could do Twitter, dshark101, or Instagram _DavidSharkey_. Either one of those has nothing on there. And eat of the week, I'm either gonna say, I'm gonna give 2. Went to the Yelling Goat last week after golf, and I got these bourbon barbecue chicken fingers, extra or decent amount of bourbon on there. That's what they said, honestly, but it was very good. Or the brisket that our dad just made last night or 2 nights ago. I've had some brisket sandwiches for the past couple of days.
And love some good brisket.
Oh man. And yeah, to you, Joe.
Okay, well, you can follow me on my photography Instagram at Sharky_photography, my regular Instagram at Secret Agent Sharky, and subscribe to my YouTube channel at Joe Sharky. My eat of the week, it's tough to beat what I had last week, which was that corn dip that I'm also going to have today once I go back to the hotel. Literally going to get that corn dip.
Are you going to Three Bridges?
Yeah.
That corn dip is
so good.
I had that last week. We went for my best friend's birthday, so we went to Raglan Road, and then we went over to Three Bridges, and that sangria flight, incredible.
Yeah,
but that
I didn't have that, but I had the corn dip, and oh boy. So I'm having that again.
I highly, if you're wanting to partake in alcohol, the sangria flight is like, it's 4 fairly large glasses of sangria, and they're all really good. So highly recommend it.
We'll see. So it's tough to beat that. Granted, I haven't had it yet this week, so like I can't really say that it is. So my eat of the week, besides that, would be, I was like, didn't feel like making food the other night, so I ordered Papa John's, which I very rarely do because I don't really like Papa John's that much. But I keep seeing the commercials for the Papadilla, which is just a calzone, but you know, they advertise it as way more than that. But it's so good. And I got a barbecue chicken and bacon Papadilla with a 2-liter of Dr. Pepper and then some garlic knots, and motherfucker, those are so good.
That sounds incredible.
It's like right what I needed at 10 o'clock at night after a long day of work. So that's what I got and loved it. But the corn dip tonight will surely beat it.
That corn dip, so good.
So good. Dave, you look like you got something to say.
I'm just like a corn dip, you know?
Yeah.
It's, you can't.
I mean, what's so good about corn dip?
No. Oh, it's just so good.
I love it. I'm going to mail you some, Dave. I swear to God.
And the word Papadilla makes me uncomfortable too.
Yeah. I don't like that. I don't like it at all.
I don't know why, but Papadilla just sounds like.
I came to the realization last night. I go, papadilla. I'm like, they're trying to call that a quesadilla. I go, a quesadilla is made with a tortilla. This is not a quesadilla. This is a pizza folded in half. It's a calzone.
My brother, we went to a restaurant yesterday, it's a pizzadilla, but it was like the base was a pizza. It was very interesting. We were at like a Tex-Mex place.
Yeah.
But
I don't know.
Same general idea, but it seemed more realistic for the name.
But I don't know. It's good. As for the podcast, you can follow the podcast on Twitter at CSG Pod. That is CSGPOD. You can follow or you can subscribe to our YouTube channel at the Shuffle Podcast. Tori, you are welcome to subscribe and be our 30. We lost a subscriber last week, so you are welcome to be our 31st subscriber. And that almost automatically enters you to win a shot glass from our friend's company that is going to be giving us shot glasses hopefully soon.
If you like drinking or anything.
If you like drinking, if you like taking shots, you have a chance to win a shot glass.
If you enjoy it.
Yeah. So you can subscribe to the YouTube channel at the Shuffle Podcast. You can also follow and subscribe anywhere you listen to your podcast audibly. The two I'm going to shout out, of course, Apple Podcasts and Spotify, all the Shuffle Podcast. Make sure you are subscribing because, like I said, it does halfway enter you to win that shot glass that eventually Sarah will give us. Of course, the other two are following people on Instagram, but you'll get to that when you get to that. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. Tori, thank you so much for joining us. This has been a pleasure.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
And
hopefully when you have better Wi-Fi, we can get you on again and we'll talk about even more stuff. So we'll talk at you guys next week. We may even have a new guest next week, depending on who responds to my texts. And we'll see what happens. So again, Tori, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah.
And bye-bye, everyone.
See you later.